Prequels can be a great idea, but they need to be handled very carefully. If the creators are not careful, a prequel can result in a bunch of inconsistencies and bad continuity, and that's just one of the problems that befalls the Bureau, XCOM Declassified. The player is sent back to 1962 to fill the shoes of Special Agent Carter. Carter is made a member of the mysterious XCOM division after an alien invasion threatens the Earth. He must lead a team of agents to try and take out the aliens before all is lost. The Bureau is not too bad in the looks department and is full of charming vintage references to the 1960s. The player will adventure through a wide variety of settings, all of which feel rather authentic. The characters too look the part with styles and fashions that suit the era. Their lip syncing seems a bit off, but that might be the result of rather poor and unimpressive voice acting that the Bureau has on offer. A few minutes of playing is enough to make anyone wish that Agent Carter would just suck on a throat lozenge. If you take away the XCOM stuff, the Bureau is a standard third-person cover-based shooter with tactical elements. It feels a lot like Mass Effect in that way, but Mass Effect simply did things better. The player will have a set of decent tools and very easy-to-use command system at their disposal in the Bureau. Sadly, the AI that the player will be working with needs to be watched like a hawk, because friendly agents will do stupid things if left to their own devices. One thing that has marked the XCOM franchise since it was first created is the management element. The player has always needed to govern things like research and training. All of that is missing here. There is a bit of a nod towards management in that the player can send agents on other missions and choose their new abilities when they level up, but it simply isn't enough to be convincing, or to be XCOM. In fact, moving away from the expected turn-based strategy genre towards a more action-orientated game just doesn't seem to fit well here. The intricacies that are normally part of an XCOM game are missing, leaving the player with repetitive action sequences and very little else. The Bureau offers a fairly long single-player experience. It has no multiplayer offerings though, and once the player has managed to get through the first playthrough, they probably won't head back for more. Still, there is a lot to do in the game if you're willing to go through what seems to be a half-hearted attempt at adding depth to the title. There are conversations to be had and side missions to be discovered, but none of them are truly enticing. The plot as it stands is predictable and standard for this kind of game. It also results in a number of inconsistencies arising within the franchise. Little things that just don't make sense. For example, if the aliens invaded in 1962, why was it such a shock when they come back in XCOM Enemy Unknown? Whatever explanations the Bureau offers, they just aren't good enough. The Bureau feels like a somewhat feeble attempt to push the XCOM franchise in a new direction. The change of genre may appeal to a wider audience, but dedicated XCOM fans won't be impressed, and the game simply isn't handled well enough to appeal to the demanding action market on a large scale. Part wasted opportunity and part bad idea, the Bureau does too much wrong to be a welcome addition to the XCOM franchise. If you ignore the background information and XCOM related stuff, it's a middling third-person action game at best.